because in the West, no matter how good you are, there's always a glass ceiling because it's not home.
Yeah.
But when you come back, even though it's tough, even though, you'll be deprived of your usual comfort, there's a sense of validation. There's a sense of that you're of purpose.
Hello, everyone. It's Iveoma, your guide to Nigeria. And today I am sitting with Toyin.
Hi.
The founder of Powerview Group. And we're going to be chatting about his move back journey. All of this is coming up. Please make sure to like, comment below. Those are amazing ways to support my channel. Thank you. Okay.
Hi.
Toyin, tell us what you do.
So, we have 3 divisions. So we do logistics, we do real estate, and then we also do gas supplies as well.
So you have 3 separate companies under Powerview.
Yes, we do. So I started Powerview Group in 2012, but it almost grew organically. So in 2012, we started with real estate. And when we started in 2012, we actually started by making blocks. So when I tell people, when people ask me, how did you start? I said, I started by making blocks on the side of the street. Because my rationale...
Wait, pause. You moved from the UK
I
to
moved
Nigeria
from the UK. You know when I told
make
you...
cement
You know when
blocks?
you know when I told you that the biggest problem with real estate is it's capital intensive. Now, no one's going to give you 100 million or 150 million because they like your face or they believe in you. Mm-hmm. So I said to myself, look, your father used to make blocks back in the day and he has kept the equipment somewhere. It's not going to cost him anything to say, Demola, take those equipments and see what you can do. Do you understand? The startup cost is relatively inexpensive because the 3 main composites are cement, sand, water. So I said, look, start that. If you go to any developer with your education that you're going to sell blocks to them at the same price, who are they going to listen to? Mm-hmm. They're going to listen to you. Mm-hmm. That's your opportunity. And that's what I did.
I love that.
And we are here now, ₦1 billion in investment, over 23 units. We're looking at a potential project of 180 units. And all those came from the belief in us and in our ability.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you first started with real estate.
Yes.
2012.
2012. And then in 2015, we started gas. Now, gas came as an opportunity. So I have family that actually owns Right Foods Limited, so they do sausage rolls and the biggie drinks that you see on the...
Oh, really?
Yes, on the traffic, yes. So, an opportunity came because they had issues with their gas LPG setup. So my uncle reached out to me. It was a 5-minute conversation. And that's what I always tell people. Opportunity comes anywhere. It is how you grasp opportunity is just your readiness to be able to identify it and to be able to jump on it. So he, it was a 5-minute conversation in his car, and I was like, oh, I know someone that can help. And voila, I was supplying about 20 tons of gas a week. And now I was competing with Orlando and Total at the time.
Yeah.
But the difference between me and them was that I was able to preempt them. And by preempting them, I was able to do things before they asked for it, therefore creating that illusion of efficiency, which they needed.
You're a smaller, more agile company. So
so one client was huge to me.
Yeah.
To them, it was like just another client.
Yeah.
And in the space of 3 years, I moved over 1,000 tons of gas from port.
Wow.
With no experience in the gas industry or no educational experience whatsoever.
So the reason people use gas here, we use it for cooking.
Yes.
Like, so I actually have a gas tank, and I go fill it. I use it for cooking. So
you can cook with it, and you can actually use it to power the factory as well.
Exactly.
So it's actually, you can call it clean energy.
Clean energy. So then you started your construction company what year?
So I started my construction company in around 2015.
Okay.
So Alexander over there, which we will go at some point later on down the line, started. I remember taking my mother's car one day and heading to the island, and I said that I was not going to come back home if I didn't get investment to buy that land, because there was a particular year that I said I am going to build, whether and I was going to, whatever it took, I was going to do it. So I went to the island with a proposal, and voila, I was able to get investment for the land. By the time I hadn't bought the land yet, I was able to sell a building on a land that I hadn't bought yet, and the person was able to pay me 50% of the deposit. So for me, you see,
hustler spirit.
It's a hustler spirit. And what I learned there was the person that actually took that leap of faith actually trusted in my ability to be able to deliver. Do you understand? So with that opportunity, there's a lot of responsibility that comes to play, which I'm well aware of. I can't take anybody's money and sleep at night. But you see, the end result of that decision that he made was that he bought a property for 20 million that is now worth 44 million today.
That makes sense. So Toyin here is the first interview I've done since the Black Tuesday Tollgate Massacre.
Of course.
Let's talk about that. Like, did that shake you as a returnee, or did it strengthen your resolve to improve this country?
I think it did a bit of both. I would be lying if I said it didn't. It shook me in the sense that it's almost like a ticking time bomb in an essence, in the sense that, look, we can't constantly keep overlooking the things that are glaring at us. One of the reasons why I moved back was to change things in my little way, because I realized from a long time ago that the problem that is being faced in Nigeria is systematic. It's huge, and it's not going to change overnight. It's going to take a long period of or constant push for change.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's gonna take some time.
Because our parents, when we come back, they tell us Nigeria is a very unstable country. But then this is the first time I was like, wow, this is a very unstable country. Really, I think the whole country fell down. Let's be honest. Everybody. The energy that was going on in Lagos at the time, and I'm going to say across Nigeria, everybody felt bad. Like, we all felt down.
Notice, this is the first time we came together and there were no boundaries, there was no social economic differentials. People were actually, you got a snippet of how
it could be.
Government could be.
Yeah, maybe that's why we all felt bad afterwards, because I was so impressed with everybody.
I was. You don't understand.
I loved it.
It was emotional for me.
Yes!
Because I felt for the first time that change was coming.
Oh my God, yes!
Yeah.
And then when
that's why when you mentioned, some people felt like leaving. To me, I was like, do or be damned. Because for me, even moving to Nigeria, it wasn't an option.
Yeah.
So the option to take my red passport and move back to the UK is still today not an option.
Yeah.
I made that decision 10 plus years ago, and I am going to write it out for the good or for the bad. But I believe God has given me this gift or given me this task, and I've not shared this with anyone, but for me, my personal goal that's intertwined with my business is that I want to grow my business to a stage where I can put it in a trust to actually finance education for the less privileged.
I love that.
And give them the education that people pay millions for, because if you're going to take people out of this mess, educate them, let them realize the power that they have, give them the tools. I don't believe in handouts. I don't believe in giving money. I believe in empowerment, because that's when you can change a generation, educate one person in someone's family, and you can take that entire family out of poverty. So I'm not going to wait for the government to do it. I'm not going to shout and scream about it.
We clearly realize we can't wait for the government to do anything.
Yes. So for me, I'm not the person that will say, oh, I'm going to build a business that my son and daughter can take over and sit there and no. I worked to build this from scratch. You will find your passion and you will build it from scratch, and I will help you every step along the way. But my goal and my purpose, my God-given purpose, is to create properties that change people's lives, and they don't have to break the bank for it. And in doing so, create the opportunity to be able to finance the bigger dream, which is to take people out of poverty.
I love that.
So that is my goal.
I love that your God-given goal, how you bringing your real estate with you and your God-given purpose, and then also trying to change the face of Nigeria. And honestly, I think as returnees, many of us, we really do want to do that. So yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Okay. So since you started multiple businesses, what kind of businesses do you think the diaspora, when they return, what should they look at?
It needs to be something that solves a problem. It needs to be something that solves a problem. And it definitely needs to be something that or a problem that you are passionate, and the key word is passionate about, you see the Nigerian accent came out, about solving, because this country will throw everything at you to make you think, oh God, let me just drop and go back home. So it cannot be I've been thinking about it, or let's try it, because oh God, Lord, this country, it has put me back together, broken me again, disintegrated me, do you understand, threw me off the back. I finished building this house and I fell off this balcony. I fell off the flight of stairs, 3 stories, and I cracked my head.
Wait, pause, you fell off?
Yes.
How?
Literally, the light went off at a particular time and I skipped a step and I hadn't done the banisters yet and I fell head first.
Oh my God.
Do you understand? So
I'm glad you're okay now.
Yeah, but this country has a habit of, and it was because of the power.
I know, I understand.
I ran out of credit. So I could have lost my life because the government could not guarantee basic amenities. That it's one of those things where you need to come as yourself and look physically. This is what I'm capable of achieving, and this is a problem that I see, or I can see Nigerians having. Do you understand? You can't just say, it's like me coming to say, okay, come and start a dry cleaning shop. No. You have to do what you're passionate about. If it's making nails, if it's painting, what are you painting about, or it could be anything. Nigeria is lacking so many things that the West enjoys. Do you understand? So for me, it's, if you have the opportunity and you've been exposed to that, bring that home, or bring what you're passionate about, because the passion will speak for itself. The passion in me was how I met you and why we're seated here today. Do you understand? And I know, Iveoma, you don't speak to anyone. Not just anyone, because you hold your subscribers like they're your gems. Do you understand?
I have to be careful.
Yeah, so for me, it's I can't really state, oh, this is what you should do. I can only advise you on what elements you should have as a person and how you should come, or what mindset you should have when you come into Nigeria to identify a problem. And once you identify that problem, you will know instantly what you are meant to do. But what I'd advise you is, don't look at what other people are doing and think because they are successful, you could just come in and that will be it, because you do not know what sacrifices they've made, and you do not know whether it is a superficial view you're seeing, and whether that view you're seeing is actually what is translating inside.
The thing is, that's the one thing I realized here. I don't know if I was naive. I was naive. I'll say that. I was naive, because sometimes I'm like, oh, this person's doing very well, and then I'll talk to people and be like, they're like, no, they're not. They're completely financed by so and so just because they're there and they want to look good. There are some businesses that I thought were quite successful when I was overseas, and then I came here and I'm like, oh, no, they're not. What's the business?
How did it start? That story doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Then I'm talking to them and I'm like, okay, how did you start your business? And then they're telling me something about Hawaii. What did we talk about? We're talking about like their business here.
Yeah.
How did you start this business? Like, I'm confused. So you're right. I do not talk to everybody, because I have to be very careful, because I want to give people authentic information that they can actually use and as they return, right? Because I want to encourage people to return. What are some of the difficulties that you faced when you relocated and started your business? Because, you started 3 major businesses, and now it's going to be, what, a conglomerate.
Amen to that.
No, it is. I'm seeing that.
Amen to
it's
that.
going to be a multinational conglomerate.
Amen to that. So for me, the difficulties I faced, Nigeria does not allow you to be lackadaisical.
It really doesn't.
Not.
It will chop your head off.
It will chop your head off. And there will be no remorse about it.
No, people will look at you and be like, step over your dead body.
And continue moving.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you need to develop those traits. But trust me, if you get, or should you get over that, it is one of the best places to live.
I know, I can see that.
It's and the people, and if you meet good people like yourself, do you understand? It's amazing. It's amazing.
I can see
I couldn't live anywhere else. I can tell you that.
I really been thinking about that. I was like, okay, Iveoma, it's almost a year. You've been here for a year. What's going on? And I was like, I don't want to live anywhere else.
I don't.
I can see that after I build the foundation of whatever I'm trying to do right now, once I get past that, I'll be fine.
Well, you will.
I'll be better than fine, actually.
You will.
I'll be better than fine.
You'll be sailing. Don't worry. I can see it already. You see, great minds think alike.
Oh, I love that. No,
Yeah.
but let's actually talk about the specific difficulties that you had
So,
starting your business.
okay, so for me, public sector, you usually, in terms of coming from the UK, you usually feel that these people are there to actually help you or make things smoother for you.
You mean government workers?
Government workers, yeah.
Oh,
social
really?
workers.
You
They
thought
do-
that here?
Yeah, so they do the opposite.
They literally stand in your way.
Yes, so ease of doing business here is upside down.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It's hard. In respect to that, it's just about who you know. Do you understand?
know.
Yes, which is unfortunate.
It's really
but if
unfortunate.
but if you can play that to your advantage, then the route to entry can be shortened. So it's a lottery in that sense. It depends on who you know in regards to that. Now, in terms of operations, you're looking at LIRS, FIRS taking taxes, and you don't even know where the taxes are going to. Do you understand? And they could come one day and literally submit a bill that is 10 times the amount that you've ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah, I've heard
saying
about
that they've calculated. So it's crazy. And then thirdly, infrastructure.
Yeah.
If you're somebody that's planning to run a restaurant or something like that, and you're blowing a diesel generator 24 hours a day, your operational costs are through the roof. If you're planning to do light manufacturing, do you understand? And all those things need to be factored into the cost of the products that you're offering as well. So you might not be able to offer the level of affordability you would have liked your products to be, because you would literally need to provide every service, basic amenities included as well. And then another thing is, when you have employees, employees can come in and they could turn your business into their personal business as well.
What do you mean?
So on top of trying to manage a business, you also have to manage employees that are supposed to be making things easier, because if you look the other way, they could steal half your inventory.
You've had that issue?
It's constantly.
Really?
Yes. You can't completely stop it, but you can put processes in place to mitigate it. And I've always said this time and time again, let that voice, everyone has a voice in their head.
Yeah.
Let that voice in your head be as objective as possible, because it's usually that voice that will tell you, oh, you need to look at that. Iveoma, you need to look at that. Not Iveoma, oh, don't worry, they can't. Do you understand? Yeah, you're good. Yeah. And then, it then unravels. So for me, always make sure that voice in your head is unbiased. Let it be able to tell you the hard, difficult truths. I was having a conversation with you off camera about this. A lot of people say, why is it that investors are not actually buying into properties or things like that in Nigeria? And I usually say this to people, that buying is not the problem. The problem with diasporans is, who can they trust with that or with that task? Do you understand? Because to them, daddy is not stealing millions of dollars and sticking it under a bed. They are working 9 to 5 for that money.
If not multiple jobs overseas.
Multiple jobs overseas.
Yeah.
And nobody can tell me, when it comes to Nigerians abroad, their connection to home is one of the strongest. Anyone can quote me on that. But it's, who do I trust? Do you know how many stories I've heard about, I gave my money to my uncle
or my cousin
who's
a lawyer?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Literally.
How many stories?
Yeah, I know.
Do you understand?
It's very painful.
I've had clients bring EFCC lawyers to come and do the inspection.
Really?
Yes. Oh, I brought out my CAC countless times, but I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. But the opportunity is there. It's just finding the right partner to go on that journey with. And that is what I want Powerview to provide. And that's why I am building certain types of products. A lot of developers that are in this market with me think I'm crazy, because for me, I spend a fortune on consultants, architects, structural engineers, the works.
I told you when I came into your house, what did the first thing I said? I was like, oh, I already knew you were a good builder. And you said, how? I said, because the stairs are even.
And wait, what did I tell you? I said this is the worst I have done.
I know, but it's beautiful.
Thank you. And I've said this, I'm only as good as my last project.
Yeah.
I will never be comfortable because there's always an opportunity to improve. Because I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I was born to do this. It's a passion of mine, and it's my sense of purpose.
It's your God-given purpose.
It's my God-given purpose. Exactly.
Okay, no, I love that because I did tell you, I was like, I have not really worked with a lot of real estate companies here, just because I'm like, I don't want to recommend somebody and then somebody calls me to 6 months later and then they tell me some story and they're like, I watched your video and no, I can't do that. That's why I decided to reach out to you, because you do have great reviews and you're a legit company. I just don't I can't.
Yeah, the FCC lawyers and they've all checked, so yeah.
No, you're actually, you're a legit company, and I do appreciate that. Let's talk about, were there any moments that made you want to leave Nigeria? Like, there was the moment that you're like, you know what? I've tried enough. I've done enough. It's time to go. Did you have any of those business moments?
Yes, I've had moments like that, but I don't think they were because of business. I think it was more of a personal nature. Nigerians, especially when it comes to family, when you're in the West, you have that distance. Do you understand? To be able to be your own person. But when you come back to Nigeria, you might get a bit of a shock, especially if your immediate family members are in close proximity. So that invasion of privacy, you understand, or some idea of they can control or influence your decisions, those come to play. And I am very big on my personal space and being able to take decisions for myself.
You're big on personal space and you moved here?
Thank you.
This is the furthest people sit.
So it was a bit of a shock. And
are you from Lagos?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you have a lot of your family is here.
My entire family.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. That's an issue.
Well, you got man. What should you do? You should do this. You should cut your hair this way. You should dress this way. You should do. No, don't tell me how to live. I will make those mistakes myself, and I will learn from it. Don't say because you've gone through it. Even if you've gone through it, you might not have necessarily gone through it the right way. I don't necessarily see age as the right experience, because if you've been doing the wrong thing for 30 years, doesn't make you more experienced than I am.
Yeah, it's true.
But having that objective, so what I do is I objectively listen, but it's not everything that they tell me I take. But I make sure that I'm conscious, and I've said this before, that voice in your head has to be able to tell you, okay, he has a point there, or trash that. Do you understand? So some mental health issues, but it's something that you build and you overcome. You have to have a tough skin, and it doesn't happen overnight. And a lot of people think it's weak, or it's not a masculine thing to talk about, but it's very real. And once you're able to identify it and understand it and be open about it, that's the only time you can heal and you can grow. Do you understand? Nobody can tell me that it's everyone at some point in their life will go through. It's almost like what's the word? Like an evolution. Yes, you will evolve and you will go through that process. You just have to be steadstrong and believe that you will get past the other side, and you will look back and you'll be stronger than you were before.
When you mean by mental health issues, you mean like when you talk about depression, or?
Yeah, depression. So, when I talk, I kept saying about being passionate about what you want to do, because it might not necessarily be going as fast or as quickly as you planned it to be.
Yeah, it won't.
Or it might not go the way you expected it to go, and that will affect your mental health.
Yeah.
And we are in a culture that doesn't believe mental health exists.
Yeah, they think they can pray away.
Or they can shout at you and it will just you shock yourself back to yes. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared for that. And I will say this again and again: do not do what you think other people are doing and you perceive as successful. Do what you are passionate about, whether it's cooking, whether it's making baby clothes, whether it's making hair, anything. do it. Understand your market, understand your brand, understand what you are looking to achieve with this, and run with it. And if that passion is there, the world will see it, and Nigerians will eat it up.
Yeah, that's one thing. I do believe that. That's the one thing I told, a producer told me to come back home to do this. She said, you need to go back to Nigeria because Nigerians, once you get the support of Nigerians, you've won.
Oh, yes.
She's like, it will take a while.
They're the most difficult in terms of Africa. Even foreign businesses, they say if you make it in Lagos, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah, I actually believe that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, Nigerians as a consumer, there is no analysis or doctrine that can tell you they are the way. In COVID period, we experienced more sales of our properties by diasporans than we ever did the entire year.
Do you know that actually makes sense to me? No, it does. Yeah. Because in my estate, I thought all my estate would shut down. Like there'd be no more construction. During COVID, I'm like,
it quadrupled.
People were breaking ground. People were filling sand. So actually what you just said makes sense. Like I saw 15 houses go up.
A lot of people thought it would do the opposite.
I did too.
Yes. It did.
No, I did too.
More people were calling in and actually making investments during that period than the other way around.
No, actually, I've seen it. I literally see it in my estate. So that makes perfect sense to me. So anyway, do you have anything else you would like to add?
For me, I'm always a big advocate of people moving back. I believe that one person can't change this country, but if we do it as a collective, I think we are blessed to have had the opportunity of both worlds. And I think it's good to give back, and it's good to give back to the people that matter. Do you understand? I've always said this, in the West, no matter how good you are, there's always a glass ceiling because it's not home. But when you come back, even though it's tough, even though you'll be deprived of your usual comfort, there's a sense of validation. There's a sense of that you're of purpose. And that feeling, I cannot quantify it. And I won't be able to exchange it for anything else. So if you are thinking of doing it, jump into that ocean, and I'm sure you'll be able to swim.
Okay, I love that. Okay. So, thank you so much for chatting with me, Toyin.
Thank you for having me.
And we believe in a better Nigeria. Do you? I think that's how I want to end it. Yeah, I think that was good.
That was good.
No, I think that was actually a really good interview.